Good evening, Doak cooks. If you hadn't figured it out yet, we're making a red sauce with a whole bunch of stuff in it. I'm gonna cook down a can of chopped tomatoes, which is this, with garlic and a little olive oil and some, I already said garlic, didn't I? Sorry, I'm doing 4 things at once. All right, so it's early. It's not too terribly late yet, but I wanted to prepare this sauce to allow it to come together over a couple of hours' time, because I don't often have this much time to prepare a sauce to go with our pasta. I do not make pasta from scratch. I purchase pasta from the store, whether it is dry or if it is a specialty that is required to be refrigerated. In this case, I have some pasta that we picked up that is in my refrigerator at the moment. What do we have? I have chicken and roasted garlic raviolis. We are fans, but I'm gonna spend a couple of hours making my sauce from sort of kind of scratch. I'll explain, give me 1 second. So years ago, I had been working with jarred marinara sauce, and that's fine. Before the marinara sauce, I was working from raw ingredients, whether it's a tomato sauce that I had to season myself or what have you. So when I started using a pre-done jar that I was a fan of, I kind of stopped all the other stuff. I stopped doing more of this stuff. But then I started to combine the two to stretch out my sauces. So instead of buying 2 of those, I'd buy 1 of these and a whole lot more of these, and then modify that with a whole lot more of these, because I could have a bit more fun with these and that, and not feel like I was being such a hack with just using this. So, and then I started to introduce, fun stuff like that, and then I started to introduce fun stuff like that, and then it's always fun to, introduce a little bit of that inside there too. So, and then I also discovered one really neato ingredient. I'm actually gonna thank The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, for this one. Yeah, that's a weird reference, but he was in a movie called The Rundown, where he often talked about porcini mushrooms, specifically the dried variety, which this is, and then we dice these up and add them to add a unctuous flavor to the sauce. So, yep, okay, so that's what we're doing. We're taking this and we're modifying it to make it even yummier, okay? All right, see you on the other side. Yeah, I'm doing this at a bit extreme heat. I'm trying to cook these guys down a bit so they get softer. I do have this, which I will sometimes use to do this. Take my little tomato friends, crush up a bit more, because I do want to retain some structure of the tomato, a little, but at the same time, I also don't want big chunks of tomato in the sauce. Again, that's a preference thing. That's mine. You don't have to, and odds are you probably don't have this, but if you do, it's a fun toy. All right, I'm gonna actually dial the heat down a bit now, because I don't want to splash all over me, and then on my camera, and then I'm gonna introduce all of my other pieces. So let's go to that. forgot something. Now, there are some people that believe this is sacrilege to add honey to your sauce. I do. It's delicious. Now, I will add a bay leaf. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add 2. Bay leaf. 2 bay leaves. So this is fun. So you take your base, which has a blade in the bottom. The blade comes out, okay? Blade inside. Fill it. Close it. Attach. Chops. So let's go grab those those dried porcini mushrooms. Now, a lot of people will use a coffee grinder for this. That's cool. That's fine. If you got one, great. I don't really drink a lot of coffee. And when I use a coffee grinder for this, I then have to clean out all of the mushroom bits out of the coffee grinder. I don't know about you, but I don't know if I'd want a whole bunch of funky mushroom flavor in my coffee. I don't know. Maybe coffee drinkers like that. It seems weird to me, but what do I know? All right. So now we close the top. Okay. Closed, locked. Here we go. There you go. Ground porcini mushrooms. Super dusty. Oof. Oof. Man, that smells very earthy. Okay. Sauce. Get out of the way. And there's our mushroom. Now you can use a little, you can use a lot. I used a lot. You don't have to use that much. It's going to add a very, very earthy flavor to this. I mean, it's going to make it very, very, very yummy. Extremely unctuous. And now for those that are looking going, wow, that sauce got really dark. I mean, that red just turned into, my goodness, almost like a Merlot now. What in the world? Yes, well, so we are going to now move us into our final phase, which is, whoa, okay, we're starting to spit. We need more liquid, so now it's time. Okay, so there's our marinara. I'm gonna turn the heat down to a very low. And then I'm gonna take my little bit that's left in the jar, not much, with a little bit more of that. So we're gonna take our white wine. You can also take a red wine. We use white, mainly from the Marlborough region, New Zealand, because we're fans of those grapes. So you fill your jar with a little wine, shake it up. Jar is clean. And you got all of your marinara out. And then all the spices that are inside of that. And now we mix. Ooh, the red color is coming back. So now that red color is merging with the brown color of all of those dried porcini mushrooms that we just added. And now this will simmer, partially covered for the next hour or so, as all these flavors come together. So I will come back here in an hour's time and we will see how we're doing. And then we'll modify and see if we need to add any more spices or any more wine. But I think we should be pretty good. So that does look pretty beautiful. Quite lovely. All right, one more hour, and then we'll come back. See you guys in a few. And there we have it. That would be mushroom ravioli with a mushroom marinara sauce pulled together from multiple different sources. So I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening. Thanks for hanging around, everybody. This is Doak Cooks. See you guys next week.